What's going on, guys? Shane with another Fight Tips Quick Tip. So today we're talking about breathing techniques for fighters, how to properly breathe during a fight when throwing or taking hits, and also how to catch your breath in between rounds. And we are going to go pretty in depth with this information. However, we're not going to talk about building stamina with road work. We're not going to talk about target heart rate or what your resting heart rate should be in between rounds. But if you're looking for those specific numbers and drills to build up your stamina endurance, click the link in the description below. We have those guides at my fight gym. And you also get access to hundreds and hundreds of technique, drills, and workouts to follow along to. All right, so back to the topic at hand, talking about breathing when fighting. When you watch boxing matches and MMA fights and you hear that noise that fighters make, why do they do that? So let's take a step back. Imagine you're in a fight before you even engage in combat, right? You're just moving around the ring with your opponent. You probably have a steady rhythm with your breathing, right? Normal, right? But then it's when you engage, when you block or when you throw a punch that you hear that noise. Okay, so what they're doing is creating an apparatus, sticking their tongue to the roof of their mouth. And every time they throw a punch, they're only letting out the amount of oxygen that it takes. And it's very violent, quick noise, right? Just like the punch, right? But if I loosen up my tongue, if I relax it and I just kind of do it from my throat, it's more like a, right? But I'm letting out way too much oxygen doing that. If I want to throw 3 punches, I want to go, I don't want to do and be out on that third punch, right? So think of it like a tactical reload for all you COD players out there, right? Call of Duty. So if you shoot 5 bullets and you still have some left in your magazine, you're still going to reload if you're safe in combat, right? You have cover. You're going to reload to make sure that you have a full magazine before you start shooting again. Now it's kind of tough in a fight because if you're in the middle of an exchange, if you're in the pocket and you throw 3 punches and then you have to roll, you're not going to be able to breathe in between each punch. You can't go and then roll underneath and catch your breath in between, right? So what do? You throw those 3 punches and then you inhale when you have time. So if I let out this much and then I have to inhale, I can bring that back up to the top. Now you can't do this the whole time. You need to do what a reset, I call. Okay, so after we go, I don't know, let's say an exchange back and forth, I throw 3 punches, right? And I do that a couple of times, and then I take a jab out, and I'm far enough away from my opponent where I can catch my breath. That's when I'll reset and I'll, right, where I'm actually exhaling a little bit more, not just those 3 exhales that I did on my punches. However, you never want to do like a full, that's going to waste too much energy, and it's kind of pointless to do that. All right, but you just want to kind of have a steady exhale and inhale to a point where you get that optimal breath, right? You kind of, your lungs and your ribs kind of spring it into action. So you exhale, it's kind of a natural point at which you need to inhale, you need to exhale. There's no energy or conscious energy where you have to do that, okay? Cool. So when you're throwing kicks, it's a little different. It's similar in that you still have that apparatus, you still have the tongue on the roof of your mouth, except it does come from the diaphragm a little bit more. When you're throwing your punches, it's from your chest. It is. But when you throw a knee strike or you're throwing a kick, it's more of a, there's a little more bass to it, right? It's because it comes from the stomach. So I still keep that apparatus there, and you'll hear that hissing noise, except it'll be a deeper sounding noise. So a punch is, and a kick is, okay, you can hear that it comes from the stomach. So, okay, it's the difference of throwing a punch or throwing a kick. When you're taking punches, you want to tighten up the abs and you want to exhale. Okay, so if someone's throwing a body shot, okay, you do want that movement. You can do it on slips too, right? If you need to get there out of the way, move a little bit quicker, I do that. I still exhale on my slips, and if I'm underneath or if I'm clenched up, that's when I'll catch my breath. All right, cool. So now in between rounds, how you're going to catch your breath. You want to keep proper posture, okay? You don't want to bend over like this and compress the lungs. You want to keep them open. If you look at fighters in between rounds, their shoulders are up, they're upright. Sometimes they'll keep a hand on the chest so they can sort of lean forward on that, and they'll rub the back. You watch GSP, him and his corner do that. But it's just deep breathing. You've always heard in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice and controlled, but what's really important is that you keep your muscles relaxed. I say in your body, but also in your face, right? You're not gonna go, I hope someone screenshot that. But anyway, you think about if you're in a pool with someone and you're trying to hold your breath longer from them. You're not in there tensing your muscles up, right? Because that takes oxygen for the blood flow. Instead, you're totally calm, and you wanna do that in between rounds. You wanna be nice and relaxed in your in the muscles in your body and also in your face. All right. That's how you catch your breath in between rounds. Last but not least, when you're fighting in the exchange and you're doing all of these breathing exercises and techniques, try to keep your jaw closed, right? Because once your jaw is open, you're more susceptible to that knockout or jaw injuries. Okay, so you can do all of these, whether you can hum as well too. If it feels better coming out of your nose, the like that, or if you do it the way that I do it, it's out of the mouth. Either way, keep your jaw closed. You don't have to go, ah. I've seen a lot of people who throw kicks and punches like that and they go, ha, ha, ha. That jaw is wide open to get hit, okay, and susceptible to injury. So try to keep your jaw closed. Try to exhale on each strike that you do. Exhale on your movements and on your blocks. Try to catch your breath with the amount that you exhaled, right? So I exhaled 3, then I just need to inhale that back up. And then on the resets, when I'm safe, that's when I can really exhale everything, but not forced, just to spring the ribs. Okay? Or if I'm in the clinch, it's another safe point to where I can do that and catch my breath. If you're going for submissions, you want to make sure that you keep steady breathing. You're not holding your breath and try to lock it out. All right, you're breathing on that. Still bringing that oxygen in, keeping your jaw closed, okay, and proper posture, deep breaths, and calm in between rounds. A lot of information, but again, if you're looking for resting heart rate, target heart rate, drills and exercises that you can do to build up your stamina, links in the description below for my fight gym. All right, guys, follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already for workouts and exercises and everything else, and subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. Until next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips. Self-defense for the underdogs.